I I thought I was a murderer. You mother. I thought I was a murderer. Murderer. Murderer? There's a bird stuck in my house. I'm gonna tell you little stories about how I think I am a murderer. It's gonna start pretty tamed, and it's gonna get a little uglier every story. So what I thought was weird years later was the memory of when I broke my arm. Practically the only bone I broke in my life. So in first grade, I jumped off of a playground, landed directly on my hand, and I cried, obviously. And then I walked under a tree, sat on a bench, and was just waiting. I didn't tell anybody, but someone actually saw me crying and got the teacher. But during just waiting, I wanted to experiment, because I noticed while walking towards the bench to sit down, I could barely clench my hands. Like, barely, really. Okay. So while I was just waiting, I was seeing which hand I can clench the hardest. Started with my right hand. I clenched so hard that I left marks on my palm. And then I did my left arm. I could barely even close that thing. It was like I was holding a bottle. I could barely even close it. Didn't really hurt. It was just, couldn't really feel it. And months after my arm was fixed, what I thought was weird is that they made me watch them take out the rods out of my arm, out of my elbow, which kind of amazed me, not gonna lie. I thought it was pretty cool. So years after, when I was in Texas, when I was 10 years old, I'd say, I've only been there for a year. And like any responsible parents in Texas, they gave me a gun for Christmas. 2 guns, actually. They got me a pistol and a sniper, or just a rifle. Of course, they were responsible. They didn't give me real guns. They gave me BB guns with the little CO2 tanks. But it really looked like a gun, like the pistol. It looked like a police gun, you know. And the rifle, the rifle didn't really seem like a gun, since you had to pump air into it to actually shoot it. And that thing was a workout, man. I looked buff just cranking that. So the rifle came with a target practice metal thingy. I only used it to adjust my scope so I could actually shoot accurately. That was a pretty good shot. Not with the pistol though, with the sniper. I'm gonna tell you the 3 animals that I killed that actually stuck with me, that I kind of enjoyed, which I wish I didn't. The first baby bird fell from the nest in my neighbor's house. And the neighbor house was a rent collector, which wasn't there most of the time. I've only seen them like 3 times out of the year. So my mom was the one who collected the rent. We lived next to an RV park, and the baby bird fell from the nest. Didn't see it though. But I stumbled upon it, and it didn't run away from me. It was just staring at me, looking around, staring, looking around, staring. And I was like, it might be hungry, no? And my grandma was there at the time, and she had a jar of nuts. You know, that one peanut with the little glass thing in his eye, the top hat cane. Yeah, it was a plastic jar of peanuts. I fed the little bird a peanut at a time, which the peanuts were almost the size of its throat, but I kept feeding it until it didn't want any anymore. Later on the day, when my grandma left, I went back to see the baby bird. The baby bird was still at the same spot, not moved a single bit. And I didn't really have anything to feed it with. I wasn't going to feed it, because I just pulled out my gun and shot it square in the chest, point blank. What was surprising is that it was still alive. It did start running towards like a little wall around the house. It was a cement wall, and kind of tried to hid under the leaves that were against it. But I kept getting closer, and it kept running, and eventually it did stop at a corner. So I just pushed it to make it keep running. And after it hit another corner, I kind of just felt bad, honestly. So I shot it a lot until it was dead. I just left it there. I just left it there too. Honestly, that was a bit much on my end. I was a bit... whatever. The next bird was also a baby bird. It was under a tree, like a very young tree, a baby tree. The trunk was like the size of my pinky finger, and almost as tall as me. No idea where it came from or how it ended up there, but it was just under this baby tree. Baby bird under a baby tree. So I tried to figure out where it came from, and it was somewhere around my backyard. It wasn't that far from the 2 big trees that was there, one in my neighbor's house and the other in my backyard in the far corner. I kind of liked the look of this baby bird. It was completely black with white spots on it, which I thought was pretty cool. I've never seen a bird like that. And I started talking to it. It was nothing evil or anything. It was just more like sweet talk, like, "Hey, little birdie, how are you doing? Where's your home at?" And I placed my hand on the floor, palms up, signaling it to jump on my hand, but it just kept looking around, looking at me. So I just picked it up, put it on my hand, and it kind of stayed there for a while, and it just jumped off. Now I put it back in my hand again, and I started raising it higher and higher, slowly, and it just jumped off. And I kept doing that for a while. It was like me and the bird having fun. And for some reason, I got agitated because I really wanted this bird to actually like me, but it felt like it just did not want to be on my hand and didn't like me at all. So I shot it like twice, and it kind of looked like it was still living, but I just left it there. I didn't kill it fully, I don't think. I don't really remember much about that bird, or how after I shot, I don't remember much. The other incident, I shot it. Alright. The other incident, it was a rabbit. A rabbit, like one of them brown rabbits that you see in the desert that somehow lay eggs or something. I don't really know. It was in my backyard. Not exactly where the baby bird under the baby tree was, but it was closer to my bigger tree, closer to the corner, the edge. And while I was adjusting my aim with the little metal targets, I saw it in the corner of my eye. And so I loaded the rifle. I started cranking it like as much as I can. I want that shit to pierce through the rabbit. So I finally take aim. I was aiming directly at the heart, where the heart would be. It was facing, I saw its side, so it was kind of facing away from me. And I took aim, held my breath, and shot it. I couldn't tell you how far it was, because I'm not like that. But it was a pretty far distance, probably the farthest I've shot something. And when I shot it, it started bouncing around, flipping, just doing some sort of gymnastic competition thing, I don't know. And when it finally stopped, it was facing the tree, like directly staring at the tree. And the rabbit at this point had his back turned to me. I slowly approached it, trying not to spook it because I did not want it to jump right on me. And when I sat next to it, when I crouched next to it, it didn't really react to me. I don't know why. I tried to look for the shot because I was on the side where I shot it, but I didn't see no blood, no nothing really, no sign of where I actually shot it or tried to shoot it at. So I went to the other side of the rabbit and I saw it. I saw where I shot it. And I don't know how I shot it there, because I was not aiming there. I shot it directly in the eye, like straight on to the eye. And the eye was completely shattered. Like if you split a grape in fours, but not fully, and then you just squeeze the bottom to like spill out the guts. I saw the eye guts just out. And I was like, oh, he probably is just blind at this point. Maybe that's why he didn't react to me. Like, he was still sitting like a normal rabbit. He was not reacting though. I didn't want to. I touched it with my gun, with the rifle. It didn't really move much. Kind of just stared at it for a while. I was like, damn, how did I shoot that there? I'm a great shot without without trying, you know? Like, I didn't try to shoot it at the eye. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put you out of your misery. So I shot it a crap ton with my gun, with the pistol. And then after I did that, each day I would come back just to see the rabbit decay to the point of bones. I was surprised that nothing actually came to eat it. After that, I didn't really kill anything after that since I moved back to my hometown. In my hometown, did not really have much places to hunt rabbits or birds. I mean, I guess there's birds everywhere, but it was mostly a city, so I didn't really want to shoot anything there. Yeah, after a while not killing anything, I moved to Mexico at one point. Oh my god, I hate this chirping dog. Moved to Mexico at one point. Maybe when I was 14 I stayed there through when I was 16. No, I don't know, 16 I think. Mexico was the first place where I killed someone. It wasn't on purpose. I'll just tell you. So I had a friend who was really into guns and actually had a gun, multiple guns actually. One rifle and a couple pistols. And they were real, of course. We tested them out. And we decided to one day to rob a house. But we knew this house. We knew that there was this granny and a couple birds. This granny really loved birds for some reason. And we were in that house before we robbed it. We knew what was in there. We broke in and during sundown, It was getting dark, and when we were finished, it was planned to be basically dark. The lady herself was deaf, kinda, and kind of blind. She needed like very thick glasses. But she was able to take care of herself somehow. So while we went in the front door, we there is no sign of the granny of there was no sign of the granny anywhere. Who knows where she was? So I rummaged through the kitchen because I'm a fat ass. So I ate the leftover chilaquiles that was there, and it was delicious. Honestly, it was a bit cold. Didn't really want to use the microwave because it's gonna make noise, and who knows how good her hearing is, if she could hear the beeps on the microwave or not. So I ate it cold. It's pretty good, really good actually. She was a good cook, and my friend, I don't know where he was. He was probably somewhere in the bedroom. But I was looking for a room. I don't know how I stumbled into the bathroom, knowing the layout of the house. I'm guessing it was just I was too excited to be robbing someone. So I went to the bathroom, and I was like, "Ooh, okay. I don't want to be here." But I saw some pills on the counter, and I was like, "Uh, some pills. Maybe I can sell this or get high off of it." So I checked what kind of pills they were. They were just over-the-counter drugs, nothing to get high off of. And when I turned around to leave the bathroom, I caught a glimpse of the bathtub, and I backtracked, and then I started seeing like skin, or just a person, I guess, and I saw the granny in the bathtub. No water. I was kind of expecting there to be blood in there, but she was just like naked, only wearing panties, which I found disgusting. But I was also concerned that she might be dead, so I went closer, touched her skin to see if it was cold. She was pretty pale, but she kinda was cold, but not freezing. She was always cold, but never really. And I thought maybe she fell in the bathtub. But it's not like I was gonna help her or anything, because she might know who I am. So I just tried to leave, but she woke up. She opened her eyelids and just screamed, which made me scream. And I got so scared that I was pretty into zombies. I love zombies back then. And I thought she was just an undead. So I shot her in the face a couple times. I was terrified So I just ran out of the house, not wanting to be there anymore. My friend followed suit with a bag filled with whatever. I didn't really care. I told him later on about what happened, and all he cared about was that he could. All he cared about was that he could have gotten more, because the police didn't really go around that little town that we were in, and so the police would take a long while to get there. Yeah, that was my first kill, which was in a very barren little town. It was after I moved back to the US, I couldn't stop. I couldn't it I couldn't stop thinking about her. I didn't really have dreams of her. It was just more like an invasive thought. I couldn't stop. Whatever. So I only had a couple friends, and we were close enough to talk about the weird things, the secrets, I'm not gonna tell you the secrets, but I will tell you one. He told me that he used to watch Lolly on Facebook before it was flagged as illegal. Before Facebook knew it was, I don't know, I'm not gonna say it. And said he started watching Lolly when he was a kid, and he gave the excuse of, I'm a minor, so it doesn't matter if I'm watching minor. The what's it called? It's the acronym CP CA something, I don't know. Fucking cheese pizza. And I mean, I guess I knew his logic, but still, he didn't outgrow it. Like, he still watched the Lolly shit. And I didn't really. It was. I don't know. I didn't really like him much afterwards. I still hung out with him and everything, but I just told him to not talk about any of the weirdo shit he's been talking about lately. I'll reveal his name because I don't care. It's his name, and I thought it was a cool name, like a badass name. But after hearing all that shit, I don't know, I could not think about the name the same way as I did before. And after a while, he didn't really talk about much about the Lolly. But he did hint about it around other people, which everyone thought, I guess, as a joke. But I did not. I could not handle it. And it was weird. I started disliking him. I really started hating him. I hated being around him. Because the people you are around the most will affect your life, right? And I did not want to be around those kind of people. So I did what basically anyone would have done. I planned something evil for good. Because who knows, he might actually. The urge only gets stronger, right? No matter the craving, no matter the drug, you'll always want more. So, I did not want. I didn't want the future generation to be affected by this wannabe predator. So I took him to the local river, which went under the bridge through I don't know where, but it was a pretty big river. Pretty long too. It was next to a mountain, and a swamp, I think. There was a lot of frogs there, so I'm just guessing it's a swamp. So I took him there and just told him we can fish, like people do there. We just fish, catch, and then just throw it back. And it was getting dark. Thank God he didn't talk about any of his gross actions, his gross interests. Because I would have done something way earlier than I wanted it to. But after it was like everything was gray, I went up behind him, touched both of his shoulders, and just talked. Talked how evil it was, how much he's gonna grow the urge to, oh my god, grudge the urge to do evil deeds for the devil, sacrifice the innocence of the younger youth, just so you can have, some kind of, whatever. And then, I got my knife and I slit his throat. And I kept slitting his throat over and over. I didn't just do it once, I did it at least 4 or 5 times. And I left him there. I did move him closer to the swamp little area where people most likely wouldn't see him. And I left his stuff there, but took mine. Which I guess it didn't matter since the footprints would say that there was 2 people there. I don't know. But before I left, I took his finger. I chopped his finger in the middle knuckle, the second knuckle, and I just took it. That was my second. It was nice seeing the finger decay throughout the days. I don't know, I just like watching things rot. It's just fascinating. Especially, one of them time-lapse YouTube videos where, I don't know, they put a Burger King and then next to a Big Mac and then see which one is fresher, which one will rot faster. It was satisfying seeing which food was fresher than the other. The smell, I didn't really notice the smell. Blood to me actually smells odd. Like, people say it smells like pennies, it smells like, I don't know. But to me, some blood, especially with kids, when they just come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm bleeding, can you have a band?" Oh, fuck, I got hiccups. You got a band-aid? And I would get a slight scent of flowers or some kind of fruity smell. But with adults, anytime they nick themselves, they cut themselves, it would smell disgusting. Like a fart after eating eggs or beans. Or even just the smell of ammonia, piss. It was like the blood was tainted by the sins, the indulgence in people. I did a couple more afterwards. Some of them didn't. One of them, I'm not gonna tell you more. One of them I loved actually. I didn't mean to kill him. I, for the people that I loved that end up dead, I took 2 fingers. 2 fingers, the same middle knuckle, different hands, yeah. Different fingers from the different hand. 1 finger left, 1 finger right. And then before I would leave them, I would place both of their fingers on top of each other to symbol a heart, to show how much I loved them. I would only take 1 finger if I didn't like him that much. I don't know. I thought I was a murderer, but I don't think that now. Because I know I'm a murderer. I know who I am now, and who knows if it'll happen again. I'm trying to control it, and the desire is still there, but